my tokusatsu journey. I'm still in tokusatsu. I'm still watching. I'm currently watching Kamen Rider Gaim. Kamen Rider Gaim is really good. I'll talk about that after I talk about this. But I got into Kamen Rider Hibiki. And I don't know if we've ever actually had a conversation about this, Logan, but I don't go into things looking at what other people say too deeply. I just go with the brief knowledge of going like, oh, this is the vibe, or this is what, like, oh, this one's good, or whatnot, right?
Yeah, correct.
So I get into Kamen Rider Hibiki, and Kamen Rider Hibiki was not one that I expected to watch, because at some point on the channel this is uploaded to, I looked at all the transformations for all of the Kamen Rider up to Zets, and I saw Kamen Rider Hibiki's transformation, and bro takes a tuning fork, hits the tuning fork, and holds the tuning fork up to his forehead. A little lion comes out of his forehead, and then he sets on fire, and then he transforms.
Okay.
It's not the greatest transformation. It leaves a lot to be desired, but I do like the suit. The suit looks cool. Okay. Then I saw his finisher, and his finisher is him like beating on the back of a monster with like a drum, and like then the monster explodes. And I was like, that's not really all that interesting. Like, it's not shot very particularly compelling. So like, I didn't expect to be into this when I started watching it, but like from the small amount of research that I did, the vibe was similar enough to Kuga. So I was like, all right. I mean, I like the lower to the ground grounded tokusatsu more anyway, because like I think the gaming ones are kind of taking me out of it. So, you know, I'll check this out. Why not? The first episode of Kamen Rider Hibiki starts off as a musical. It's not very long. It's about 2 minutes in length, where people are just saying, going to, oh, you're going on a trip in a second, aren't you? He's like, oh yeah, I'm going on a trip to see, go to an island, blah, 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 this, that, and the other, right? So it cuts to him going to the island on the boat with this. He sees him again. He sees him fight like the monsters of the week, which are basically what could be described as demons from SMT. He goes to talk to Hibiki, and he ends up talking to Hibiki about it. And Hibiki just goes, yeah, well, just keep going. Keep training.
Just keep doing it.
And I was like, I mean, yeah, that is what he needs to do, but like, it's not really good advice, right?
Yeah, that's not what you tell a kid. Yeah.
That's not like that's not like life changing or anything. But then it clicked on me, because you know what we see Hibiki doing literally every time he's on screen that isn't fighting a monster? He's training. What did he say when he saved that kid? I'm well trained. So the whole entire modus operandi of this entire show is, hey, all you can do is prepare for what's going on. And if this isn't going your way at first, keep working at it. That might be a false negative. Work through the negative feedback that you're getting, because the negative feedback that you're getting might be a false negative. This isn't a sign that it isn't working. It's a sign that you're not working hard enough. Just work through it. This isn't, life is not linear like that. You're going to have to, you're going to come across some struggles. You're going to have to need to work through it. And it clicks for me at episode like 10ish. And I'm like, oh shit. That's what the thing is.
That's what he's saying.
That's what he's saying. The whole entire point of this show is saying that, hey, you're going to have to work with it. I mentioned to my chat and to Logan that I'm currently taking antidepressants because I decided to finally get medicated now that I have the ability to with my job. And that's not a linear process. Some days are going to be harder than others, even with the medication. Some days are like, you just keep going. You prepare for what you can prepare for, and then if you're not prepared enough, you know what you need to prepare for. Keep going. It's the same thing with learning to do something new, right? Obviously, if you learn to do something new, you got to keep doing it. You got to keep working at it. And so I see this show and I go, this show was made in like 2003, 2004. I really like that. I think that would have really helped me as a kid. Should I seen this? I think I should finish this because I think this will benefit me as a human being.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Just like seeing like I think a lot of like issues for developing children is that they don't have like good models for what like hard work looks like. They don't know what that looks like. So I was using this as like a surrogate of like, oh, hey, this is probably what hard work look like. So literally when I say Hibiki is always training, I mean, literally he is always training. If he's not training, there is like brief moments where he's resting and then he's fighting monsters.
Damn.
But literally always training. I showed you like the henshin sounds for 01, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes they give like throwback ones where like they make reference to like an older Kamen Rider. So Kamen Rider Hibiki has a progress key, and his progress key, the little soundbite that they have at the end of it, it goes a demon that is always training.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's so like I should also mention like the Kamen Riders here aren't actually called Kamen Riders, they're called Oni.
Great.
So like you find out more about the world and everything about how they work for an organization called Takeshi, and Takeshi's whole entire point is to employ all the Onis to go out and fight all the demons. And it was made kind of like this Kamen Rider was made in counterculture to other Kamen Riders because the original Kamen Rider, he was a cyborg and he decided to fight against an evil organization. And all the other Kamen Riders started going in the sci-fi kind of area. Like Zero One was sci-fi, Kabuto was sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
This is made to go in the opposite direction. What if we made it mystical? What if we took all of our Japanese culture and inject that into Kamen Rider? So he's called an Oni because the Onis are like the defenders of humanity. It's got a lot of like traditional like Japanese kabuki theater stuff to like iconography and like the taiko drums that they use and all kinds of things that go back to like their theater stuff. And it's really, really cool. It's really thoughtful and it's introspective. And I'm sitting here watching and I'm like, this is like probably one of the most artful TV shows I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm going through it and more characters get introduced. Like there's characters like that use like, so Hibiki himself uses like a taiko drum. There's a character that uses a trumpet. And there's another character that uses a guitar, right? And based on who's more prevalent in that episode, they have different opening themes. So the opening theme is all like one theme, but like depending on who's like the focus of the episode, the instrumentation changes. So sometimes it's a woman singing. Sometimes you can hear the drums more. Sometimes you can hear electric guitar. Sometimes it's trumpets and like a whole brass section, right? And I'm like, oh, this is really fucking cool. Then like the outro is also really soft and thoughtful, and it's about like the outro is literally talking about a young man growing as like a coming of age story. It's called Shonen Yo. I have that also on my playlist as well. It's very good.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the most like artistically creative things I've ever seen as a TV show, because American TV shows isn't like creative. They have an idea, they make jokes about it, and then they air it, right? Or the reason why I don't like most TV shows nowadays is because of everything has to do with the ratings. Like, do we ever talk about Your Flag Means Death?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So I got really pissed off at Your Flag Means Death because I got to the end of Your Flag Means Death and they had like the season finale. And I'm like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. None of this needed to happen. And none of this shit works in the way that the characters would do them. Mm-hmm. None of the characters doing the things that they're doing right now makes any fucking sense. This is contrived as fuck. They're just doing this because they want a second season. Mm-hmm. Right? And I hate writing like that. That's what some of my like complaints about with Kabuto was. Like Kagami he showed compassion to certain worms, but like now that he finds out that worms are natives, now he feels weird. Like why are you switching up now? My entire problem with Agito was like the whole entire thing. Like these characters aren't doing the things that they should be doing. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of the time they do that stuff because of ratings. Hey, we need higher ratings. We need to sell more toys. That's the whole entire reason Static Shock got taken off the air. It wasn't selling any toys, like that kind of thing, right? And I hate that. And as I'm progressing and I'm watching and I'm absorbing all of the information that this is going for, Hibiki gets his ultimate form, and his ultimate form is probably one of the more interesting ultimate forms that I've seen in any transformation in any media, because his ultimate form is gained by training, and I guess that's like saying that out loud. That's not different from other like shonen. Like I guess like every shonen has a character that like trades and then gets a new form, but I feel like it means more in Hibiki because he was always training. And his ultimate form is because he was training and he got in the zone while he was training and he just feels good. So this is like a combination of him just being in the fucking zone. That's where his ultimate form is. I don't know if you've been looking at like pictures of what Hibiki looks like, but like check out his Crimson Hibiki or Armored Hibiki.
Yeah, okay. I've been looking at some photos as you were talking, yeah.
Yeah, Armored Hibiki looks fucking really, really cool. And I'm just sitting here like, yeah, no, this is a good message to promote. I wonder how this is going to end. And so we hit episode 30. I think it's actually specifically episode 33. The opening changes. And I'm sitting here looking at through the same lens that I was looking at that. And I see like slowly but surely it's losing like that part of it that I liked. Like stuff starts escalating. We get like more problems that are more like action based and whatnot, and stuff starts escalating, and a lot of the character writing starts becoming kind of spotty, and then a character gets introduced for Asamu, and it's one of those characters that gets put into a show, and they're just kind of really obnoxious, and their point is like to stir the pot, but they don't.
I love anything. Those guys.
Like they don't do anything. Like they're just there to be an asshole.
And I meant that facetiously, audience. I hate those people.
Right, but like fucking like, so you're just sitting here like, what is going on? And I tapped out on episode 38 and 39 because I shit you not, what happens in episode 38 is, and I physically counted, 8 problems happen, one of which is a joke, and it rehashing an old character plot that a side character had that was already resolved. They rehash it again as a joke, and then they all get solved the next episode.
Love it.
And I stopped watching at that point and I go, what the fuck happened? And it is at this point I realized that Kamen Rider Hibiki suffered from production problems because it wasn't selling enough toys. Well, I don't know for a fact that it wasn't selling enough toys. I just know that they suffered some kind of production issue where production stuff got changed. And as far as I saw, it was because it wasn't selling enough toys. I couldn't find a solid reason on that. So I don't know for a fact if that was the case. But
yeah, okay.
It was some kind of production thing where something wasn't happening that they needed to happen. So they changed production. So they got rid of the producer, they got rid of the director, and they got rid of some of the writers. And everything from episode 30 changes. And you can feel it. It's really jarring from how different it is. One of the characters, one of the Kamen Riders that uses the trumpet. He has a protege or an apprentice that's studying to become a Kamen Rider. Her name is Akira. Right? Okay. And she's been completely competent up to that point. And as soon as it hits like episode 30, her character writing gets fucking weird. You start like seeing that she starts having qualms about being a Kamen Rider. You're like, you didn't have qualms before. Why is this all of a sudden?
Yeah, why is it coming now?
Now. Like, and it's not even like they're like bad qualms. It's just the show, the way that it's written, would have introduced that qualm much earlier. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So like, you're like, okay, that's weird. And then another female Kamen Rider comes in and they kind of like relate to each other because the reason why Akira wants to be a Kamen Rider, you find out, is because her parents were killed by some of the monsters, right?
Mm.
And so like, obviously she's like, I have this hate in my heart, but I can use this hate for power. And obviously like the other Kamen Riders are like, don't do that.
Yeah, like, hey, like, don't like, we hear you, but don't
do that. That's not you. You're not going to be able to like protect anybody properly if you work in this way. But the other female Kamen Rider works in that way. Obviously, there's issues going on with that, and that could have been a nice plot line. They kill off said female Kamen Rider, and then they kind of just write Akira out of the show. She just decides she doesn't want to be an Oni anymore. You're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? they added that one character that I mentioned before who just doesn't do anything except like be an asshole. And he goes, actually, I'm going to be Hibiki's apprentice and I'm going to become Oni. And you're like, shut the fuck up. He's like, you're not cut out to be an Oni. You're like, dog, fuck off. He wasn't trying to be an Oni to begin with. And then all of a sudden, Asumu decides he also wants to be an Oni. And then like the character writing is just not good. It like everything that I liked about the show just fucking squashed. So as I'm looking up stuff about what the fuck happened with what's going on, I find out that I'm not the only one that wasn't satisfied with it. The audience isn't the only one that wasn't satisfied with it. You know who also wasn't satisfied with it?
Who?
The actors.
Yeah.
Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Japan is an incredibly respectful country. Here's a prime example. We were talking about Kojima and Metal Gear, right?
Yeah.
Kojima writes movie reviews on Twitter. He writes he talks about things that he likes and that he didn't like, but generally he talks about how innovative and whatnot certain movies or like ideas are. Do you know what he does when he doesn't like a movie?
What's that?
He just says he saw the movie.
That's true. I do think that's right.
Yeah. So to put in contrast, the main actor, the actor who plays Kamen Rider Hibiki, goes on record and goes, yeah, production was really messy. I think this is a really fraudulent production. He physically said this to a camera.
God.
The fact that he did this is like, he was frustrated with it. The other actors, like the fucking people who played like the Monsters of the Week, they were frustrated with it. The other actors were frustrated with it. They've all gone and said something. The only thing I remember was the main actor saying something akin to like the production is fraudulent, and the fact that he had a lot of qualms with the final episode. The final episode, the writing got changed the day of, and they had 5 different endings to how the show ends, and they used 4 of those endings where Asumu becomes an Oni and trains under Hibiki further, and they chose the one where he doesn't.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I don't know, man. So I stopped at episode 39, but I couldn't. I like, the thing about Hibiki though is that it hurt me so badly. It just took the entire wind out of my sails. And so I haven't like gone as deep into all the other Kamen Riders. Like I said, I've mentioned before that I'm still watching Zets because Zets is really good. I'm currently watching Kamen Rider Gaim. It's not bad. I like all the character writing in it, but I'm not too keen on like the flavor of it, literally, because they use fruits. But like the character writing is really good. This one of the rival writers says something akin to you have power, but you don't challenge anyone above you, and you don't protect anyone beneath you. You don't do anything. So you may have power, but you have no strength. And I said, damn.
That's fucked.
So I'm enjoying what I'm seeing of Gaim. But it's not like hitting as like strongly as like maybe like a Kuga or something. I'm still chasing the high of Kuga and nothing's hitting.
Yeah.
I'm not done with Kamen Rider. Zets is still really good, and hopefully it sticks the landing because we're in the final like 10 episodes before we like move on to a different Kamen Rider. So hopefully it sticks the landing and is really, really good. But Hibiki hurt me in a way that I didn't know was possible. And because of it, I found out why all those years ago I didn't like Power Rangers. And it's because I knew even as a kid, it felt like they were selling me a toy.
Uh-huh.
I felt it, and that's why I never liked it.
And here you are.
Here I am, not buying fucking Power Rangers. But yeah, no, the production in Kamen Rider Hibiki changed to sell more toys. And it just it made a worse product, in my opinion. I think in a lot of people's opinions, and that's why I didn't like Power Rangers as a kid. Now, that's not to say the Super Sentai in and of itself is bad. I haven't actually properly seen a Super Sentai, so I might feel differently if I watched it now. I was a stupid kid. I was in preschool. I didn't know anything, but I did know like the fakeness feel of that. I wanted to like understand what that fake feeling was. And the fake feeling is they are selling you a toy. And even as a child, I can tell that they are selling me a toy.
Literally.
So, yeah. I went back and watched a little bit of Ultraman, Shin Ultraman, because my dad watched Ultraman when he was a kid. So I was like, oh, I gotta watch that.
Well, I gotta watch it, dude. It's there.
That's my dad's shit, right? But
that's my shit.
But yeah, that's basically what I've been doing for the past couple months.